take for example, you are treating the animal or that animal has been reported to you within a week. Suppose that case was reported to you within a week. So in that period, what happens? Next type of infection predominates inside the human. And if at this time, if you are using the glycoside or any other groups, then they are not going to be effective. Why? Or other groups of the medication. Take for example, nitrofurazone, sulfonamides, or this beta-lysine, kanamycin, or other amino this group, glycoside groups. So they are not going to be effective. But you will be satisfied that we have treated the animal very nicely for 5 days or 6 days or 7 days. But next result will be zero. Why? Because under the first or mixed type of condition or during anaerobic condition, these groups are not effective. And also, if previously the nitrofurazone they were widely used, but later on it was discovered that these pathogens, which we have already discussed, 2 or 3 most important for the human, they are completely resistant to nitrofurazone or this group, sulfonamide groups. They are not effective at all. So it is useless treatment. So for that purpose, oxytetracycline we have selected. So this is the intramuscular or intravenous route, and this is not curative. Why? Because it will reach up to the lumen or endometrium, but that is not at the MIC level. So along with that, oxytetracycline, which we have already discussed, along with this, you have to use oxytetracycline at the dose rate of 2 gram plus at least 40 ml distilled water. 40 ml distilled water, then you can give intrauterine. And this is also given 3 to 5 days continuously. Along with this, because when you have infused inside the human, it will take care of all the pathogens present inside the human and in the endometrium. Because whenever you are giving the intrauterine treatment, it will reach up to the endometrium and rarely up to myometrium. If the infection is of chronic in nature, then the pathogens they will reach to myometrium and the other deeper layers. So if you are using either this route or that route, then the single route will not be curative in nature. So along with that, you have to give intrauterine therapy at this rate, but the total volume should not be less than 40 ml. It may range up to 40 to 60 ml. If the animal is big, size is bigger, then you can take up to 60 ml, because 40 ml is minimum required for the uniform distribution in both the uterine horn. Otherwise, after the discontinuation of the treatment, it will descend down in the human, and again there will be recurrence of the condition. After that, suppose you have treated like this, so it will be curative like this. But if the case has been reported after 10 days or 15 days, that usually happens under the field condition. Immediately he is not going to come to you. So most probably 7 days or 10 days onward, what happens? By that time, 7 days or 10 days, this mixed type of microflora, they are already evacuated or removed from the or expelled from the uterine lumen. So after 7 days or 10 days after the infection, what you will find? That penicillin sensitive pathogens are only present. This mixed type of infection is removed automatically, and penicillin sensitive pathogens, they will predominate. 7 days onward or 10 days onward, it is not pinpointed. So what would be the choice of the treatment? That's why I always emphasize on the history, that how you are going to take a good history, whether you are able to dig out the information very accurately or not. Why? It is very simple to take the history, but it is very critical in nature. Here, you just take the example of this condition. If you are able to assess early that what is the exact duration which is already passed or what is the status now, then appropriate treatment you can give. Otherwise, it will remain only satisfactory. And you will say that I am satisfied that I have treated the case very nicely. Intrauterine and intramuscular or intravenous. But net result will not be very effective. Why? Because there will be recurrence after the descending down the infection from the tip of the uterine. So after that, suppose this period has already gone, then you already know technically that penicillin sensitive pathogens, they are predominating. Then the treatment choice would be different from the previous. So here you can use penicillin because it is most effective after roughly 8 days onward. So here penicillin, especially procaine penicillin. Procaine penicillin injection and at the dose rate of 8,000 to 10,000 international unit per kg for 5 days. And it is also given intramuscular and about 40 at international unit intrauterine in the same volume. This is again a curative in nature, provided it has passed 1 week, because at this time the penicillin sensitive bacteria, they will predominate the uterine lumen. So here you are going to give this through this parenteral route and this amount intrauterine. So it will take care of the both the places, even if the infection has been settled in the myometrium or deeper tissues from that side, and from this side local infection and the infection which is already set inside the endometrium. So it will be curative. After that, these are the two groups which are most commonly used for the intrauterine or the uterine infections. They are very effective. After that, hormonal therapy. This was antibacterial therapy, now hormonal. Hormonal therapy. Here, again, your skill is required, because the treatment, anybody can do the treatment if you know the name of the antibiotic, right from 4th class up to class 9. But if you know the science, then you can treat very accurately with minimum expenditure. Here, hormonal therapy, that means when it is recommended that just you try to see or assess the case, particular case, whether the mature corpus luteum or functional corpus luteum is from the ovary or not. If it is present, then it is very simple. You choose PGF12 form. Maybe most commonly nowadays we are using Wetmate, or neutralize oil. So if you are using this 5 ml, 2 ml intramuscular, then what will happen? Either this or any other preparation which is available. 2 ml injection, then what will happen? It will destroy this corpus luteum, because you know that if the corpus luteum is present, then it is considered source of the which will maintain the material inside the uterine lumen because the uterus will remain quiescent. So the primary objective is to bring the animal into estrogenic phase endogenously. So here, if you are confirmed that your CL is present, then this is the most appropriate therapy. Just give this injection. Within 3-4 days, what will happen? Automatically, animal will start evacuating the lumen, uterine lumen, and the owner will complain that you have spoiled the animal. He will not be very happy. That's why you have to. Why? Because he will see the more and more excretion through genitalia. So he may confuse that you have spoiled the animal. Because after your injection, the animal became worse. But technically, what is happening? That since the CL has been removed, the animal has attained the estrogenic phase. So, because of estrogenic stimulation, whatever the debris was present inside the lumen, it is being excreted out. So, gradually within 3-4 days, what will happen? It will disappear and animal will recover automatically. Okay? And there is another option, estrogen. If you are not able to pinpoint whether the CL is present or absent, because sometimes it happens, if you are not much experienced, you are confused whether the CL is present or not. Then there is another option. You don't go for this option, you choose estrogen. But here, you should be very cautious, because after some time, after serving for 2 or 3, 4 years, you will confuse that what is the exact dose and rationale of the treatment. Why? Because it is very important. Suppose you know that estrogen is very effective in this case, because I have told you. Estrogen is very effective. But you will forget other things. What? This is very important. Very, very important. In other cases, if you miss little plus minus, then it is not going to cause much harm. But here, it is. So, I'll just explain. The total dose of estrogen in adult animal, adult means here weighing from 300 to 400 kg, that is the usual weight. Total dose is 3 mg. Total dose, intramuscular. For this purpose, we are discussing endometritis. So it is very specific. You should give not more than 3 mg intramuscular. Why? क्यों नहीं देना चाहिए? Why? No, it is not meant for relaxation. It is meant for the stimulation, opposite. Uterus will relax when you give the progesterone. It will be contractile. More means the fibers, they will be stimulated if you are going to give estrogen. So, here, if you will exceed beyond this, here purpose is that you have to stimulate the musculature of the uterus, so that whatever the material is present inside the lumen, it should be evacuated. That is your objective. So here, if you will increase beyond this limit, what will happen? There will be immediate much contraction of the uterine musculature. So there are 2 physiological consequences of it. 2 most important. Number 1, the means increased dose beyond this. When it will be extremely stimulated, what will happen? Whatever the infection was present inside the uterine lumen, because of the excessive contraction of the musculature, that infection is forwarded towards the fallopian tube or end of the fallopian tube, and it will be poured inside the peritoneum. Because it is contracting extremely. So most of the material, it will come out from the genitalia outside. But little amount it may also poured inside the peritoneum. So, remote possibility is that after some time the farmer will complain that the animal is feverish, septicemic. Why? You will also confuse that why it has become. Because you have poured the infection inside the peritoneum and gradually it has developed peritonitis. So that is one consequence. Another consequence is, if you increase the dose beyond 3 mg total dose, what is this? This is estrogen. Estrogen. So it will give the negative feedback for the production of FSH endogenously, which is going on. Because the folliculogenesis is continuous process. It will give the negative feedback mechanism for the production of FSH. So what will happen? Whatever suppose the follicles they are at maturing stage, so they will become cystic in nature because they will be devoid of FSH because of the feedback of this level of the estrogen. So they will not grow further, they will be cystic. So that is another consequence. So ultimately you are going to cause the infertility. So this is the dose, 3 mg intramuscular, and after that, because this is not sufficient, only this much dose is not sufficient for this purpose for endometritis. So after 6 hours, in 6 hours of the estrogen, 6 hours of the estrogen, what you will do? You have to give injection oxytocin. That too, you must restrict in large animals only this. Only this. 10 to 20 international units intramuscular. Not beyond that. Usually, we give 100 to 120 international units for another purpose. But here, 10 to 20 international units 6 hours after the estrogen. Because for the action of oxytocin, you require estrogen prime musculature. So after 6 hours, you have to give this lower dose of the oxytocin. So within 3 to 5 days, the uterus will be clean. After that, you have to give little supportive treatment along with this because it is very sensitive. Supportive treatment. What is that supportive treatment? Immunomodulator. The most common and cheapest is levamisole. Injection, levamisole, at the dose rate of 2.5 mg per kg body weight. Approximately, it is also restricted to 10 to 15 ml, not more than that. Total. This dose rate per week for 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks. So it will be very good supportive treatment. Why? Because it will help in the regeneration of the endometrium. Epithelial layer will be regenerated very fast. Number 2, you have to give the injection. Take for example beta cell. That means vitamin A, D, E about they means 5 ml total intramuscular per week for 2 to 3 weeks. So this care of the first regeneration of the endometrium, and animal will start the cyclicity soon compared to other treatments. बस इतना ही है, वैसे तो अभी और है लेकिन आपके कोर्स में नहीं। ठीक है ना? So by this way you can treat the endometrium, this endometritis. और कोई कुछ पूछना हो तो पूछ सकते हैं। टूर जा रहा है आपका? कहाँ रहेंगे आप टूर में? कब से कब तक है? 3 to 28। कहाँ का है? यहाँ से मतलब हैदराबाद जाएंगे। एंड मैंने किस कोने का है? साउथ का टोटल। वहाँ भी तिरुपति भी जा रहे हैं? कब पहुँचे तिरुपति? 8 पहुँचते तो आप वहाँ देखते हैं, क्योंकि हमारी भी टीम रहेगी तिरुपति में, 3 वो हम भी निकल रहे हैं, सारे BSc PhD वाले जो हमारे डिपार्टमेंट हैं, तो हम 5th से लेकर के 8th तक तिरुपति रहेंगे। जब इन कॉलेज में आए तो मुलाकात कर सकते, रिप्रोडक्शन की कॉन्फ्रेंस है, उसी में सारे रहेंगे।